We need to know about disconnect switches. Okay, every equipment needs to have a disconnect switch, especially for heavy load like air conditioner or a boiler. And usually we connect through the hotline. So if we have three disconnects here, that means we have three hotlines. The disconnect switches should be on the hotline, not on the neutral. Some of them have fuses, some of them don't, depending on the load and the code. Fuses provide overload protection, similar to the breaker, which actually will trip. This one will just burn. Some of them are general duty and some are heavy duty, and we also have explosion proof and weatherproof. So check with the codes requirement for what type of disconnect switch you need for your enclosures. Again, the code requires us to have enclosures for all the wiring. We don't want to have any exposed wiring, especially for heavy duty equipment. And some of them require that there's no moisture comes inside. If moisture come inside, probably it will ruin your connections. So you don't want to have that dust or explosive fumes. If we work in a power plant and we have a gas leak, we might want to have leak-proof containers that cannot have any water or gas going inside, because if you notice, there's a lot of control included inside the enclosures. Also, there's rain tights. It's going to be outside. Again, explosion proof for location where there's gas leaks and there's a possibility of fire or explosion. For example, power plant. So in here, what they look like. This is a 15 amp breaker, 20 amp breaker, and they also can be, if you notice, this one is double. Why? Because it clips in two hot lines. Meanwhile, this is only one leg that's hot, and they clip inside. This is how they are placed inside the panel. Hot line and a neutral. These are the neutrals here, and it's being installed, and probably this is our ground. Fusible or non-fusible. Again, I showed you a picture of the fusible or non-fusible. It's basically a way to increase the safety for these control panels. This is fusible center, and again, if you see, these are fuses between all the hot lines. To again, we can use fuse or a breaker. It's not the same. A breaker you can reset, a fuse you cannot reset. Some equipment that are inductive, meaning they have a lot of induction, like motors or magnetism involved, we might not want to use a fuse because the fuse will burn and there's a possibility of a surge with those equipment. So check with the manufacturer and the equipment requirement whether you need a fuse or a circuit breaker. Okay. Breaker panels, again, if you look here, this is where you clip your circuit breaker, and you see this is the hot line and this is our neutral. So if you have a double breaker, probably to clip in two hot lines, they call those actually lugs because they can clip to them. And breakers, they detect overload based on the rating unit. If it's 15 amp, if we draw 17 amps or 16 amp, it will trip. So you can go and reset it manually. They can be 1 or 3 poles depending on the setup of these breakers and how many legs are there. So one pole, that could be for 110, 2 poles 220, or 3 poles could be more than 220, or could be 3 phase. They are constructed in different ways. Again, note this. It's note this. They are not all uniform. Every manufacturer and every control panel has its own connections, and they have their own breaker that are designed to work with that breaker. So make sure they are uniform, and they all have to be UL approved, which is Underwriter Laboratories approval, which goes under the NEC code. construction. Main lugs, that's where you connect to. It's called a lug. Those are the connections, and they are rated again by amps. Single 3-phase from 250 or 600 volts. For us, for residential, basically it's going to be 120 or 240 volts. Different shapes, if you can notice, these three look similar. These are different. So different construction with those. Some of them come with main circuit breakers for the entire panel, and some of them don't. That depends on the requirement and the specification. Circuit breaker cause, let's say, cause little or no trouble, meaning that you do not have to replace them. They hardly ever break, and they have been tested for reliability. So whenever they get tripped, you just go and reset them. There's always extra spaces in the panel. You hardly ever go to a panel when you see all the lugs or all the breakers are used. So there's always spare in case you want to add some equipment later on. Before installing anything, this is important. Before changing the breaker or installing a new breaker, you have to cut off the main power, and that's why sometimes we have a main connection to the this is what's called a distribution center, which is a combination of all those little disconnect switches put together in a control room, because for probably this is operating a big manufacturers, or also a big power plant. So you want everyone to be handy, so you can go and shut off equipment if you have to, or if there's an alarm in one area. So for us, again, we are talking about our power source and how we get power from the control panel. Again, you're not allowed to to connect anything to the control panel unless you are certified unless you are a certified electrician. We use always AC, alternating current, and the power distribution that has been used for that district is the same for all houses. And from what I've seen so far, mostly every house gets 240 volts. 240 volts and 2 hot legs. Many path for electrical current, wires. So we need a method. So as we try to have a complete circuit for our equipment or our appliance, we also need to have a disconnect switch that's appropriate to that service to prevent us from having the system draw more current than it's supposed to, and eventually with more current we'll have more heat, and it could burn some control or some wires as we run it. Location for the disconnect switch. So as general rule, you want the disconnect switch to be within reach of the equipment. In case something goes wrong, you can go reach out and unplug it. And it's good to have 2 ways to disconnect the power from the equipment: a regular switch and a big major disconnect switch that shut off the power from the equipment, and also all the switches around it and the control as well. So this picture will show you how do we connect equipment from a load center. So this is my control panel or power supply center that goes all to the furnace here, and power line goes all the way to the outside unit. And again, if you notice, the disconnect switch is within reach. So if you're outside doing some repair and something sparked or something didn't seem right, you can go and disconnect the switch right away to the entire system going in here. So probably there is a switch in here and there's another switch in here, but that's local, and you want something that will cut off the power entirely from the equipment. Another disconnect switch and a branch circuit over here. And if you notice again, when we connect the power or disconnect the power, we want to disconnect both hot and neutral lines. So that's the main purpose of the disconnect switch, not only the power but also the neutral. And why is that? It's because in case you have a short in the equipment and there's still some current going through the neutral line, you want to cut that out as well, just to make sure that there's no power coming to the equipment and there's no complete circuit to the equipment, and you can safely work on the equipment by itself. This is also what's called a nameplate. Every equipment should have a label that should give you the manufacturer name, voltage, frequency, phases, maximum, minimum ratings, and what you need, what kind of power required to supply that equipment to have it run properly. So this kind of sums up what we need to know about installation. We learned about American wire gauge, and for us we said the code has changed from last time, from 2016 to include gauge of wire of 14 gauge. Circuit breakers, those what is installed in the control panel. This is the breaker panel. Disconnect switch, you're required to have a disconnect switch in every equipment. Distribution center is when you have power coming to two appliances. Fusible disconnect switch, some equipment require you to have fusible disconnect switch, but again check whether a breaker is enough or you need the fusible disconnect switch. It is very similar to the breaker, so breaker and fusible, and breaker panel and fusible load. National Electric Code is our guide for checking what we need to have as far as wire size and disconnect switch, and also. So again, if you can please remember that. Remember that the maximum recommended size for a branch as a drop from the main voltage source is 3%, and so when we look at the nameplate, we cannot drop more than 10%. So any equipment, whether it be an AC, a furnace, or so on, you cannot have a more drop than 10%. And if you have, for example, very long run of wire and you drop more than 10%, you might want to increase the wire gauge. Like from 14, you might go up to 12 if you have to. Okay, so I will post some questions to check your understanding. Let me know how it goes. Thank you.